Hey y'all, I know it's been a while and there's a reason. I've been very disenchanted with what's going on with politics in our country today. It seems like there is no honor, there's no integrity, and I know there's been jokes forever about, how can you tell when a politician is lying, his mouth's moving, whatever. But I know there has been this running joke about politicians lying. Unfortunately, the way it looks now is there's absolutely nothing we can believe that they say is horrible. And I'm going to try and make this brief, but I do have some things I want to say about just the White House just flat out lying. And they don't answer to anyone. There's no accountability for their lies. Let me just throw one out there real quick. Jen Psaki said that if we pass the American Rescue Plan, child poverty will be cut in half. I could play you the clip. It's on one of my past videos. I'm not making it up. Why would I make something like that up? That is a bold-faced lie. Guess what? They passed the American Rescue Plan. The $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. The plan where $1.7 trillion didn't go to rescue, unless you want to call bailing out blue states, blue cities. I don't even know if there's a blue state. To the point where California needed bailing out. Their teachers are getting bonuses because of this bailout. New York City, they were in the hole. Now they're out of the hole and above the hole, to the point where they can give 5 figures to illegal aliens for COVID relief. What about legal Americans? Why can't we hold them accountable for this? It's just dumbfounding that we elect them, we put them there, and they do this to us, and we let them. I don't get it. The government throughout the ages have been infamous, a word FDR made up, infamy. I don't know if you knew that, but he made that word up, for screwing over the people that put them there, the people that made them rich. And when they push the people to the point of breaking, it doesn't go well for them, ever. If you don't believe me, just look at Mussolini. Look at what the people did to Mussolini. Look at what the people did to Muammar Gaddafi. It didn't end well. There was no trial for these guys. The amount of anger that you're causing to the American people because of the suffrage that you're causing, it's not going to end well for you guys. Why don't you do something drastically different and take care of the people that put you there, instead of taking care of the money that put you there? Jeff Bezos should have 0 say in what happens. He should have 1 vote. Let me take that back. He has 1 vote, just like I have 1 vote, just like Stacey Abrams has 1 vote, just like John Doe has 1 vote. We all have 1 vote, and that's all that should matter. But it's not. And they're getting away with it. And we're letting them. And no one who is a regular everyday citizen is benefiting by this. It's amazing to me. So, child poverty cut in half didn't happen. You're a liar, Jen Psaki. You're an absolute liar. And whoever told you to say that, shame on them, because they're liars also. I noticed she's wearing makeup now at her press briefings, and that's probably because she cannot stand to look at herself anymore, because she is a lying hypocrite. She does it for a living. Thousands of jobs, let me qualify that, because you know how he qualifies everything. thousands of good-paying union jobs within the first 100 days. Bold-faced lie. Didn't happen, not gonna happen, and we're not gonna hold him accountable for it. Why? Why does he get away with this? Let's look at this infrastructure bill he's introduced in has it passed? I don't know if it's passed. So 5.6% of this bill goes to infrastructure. The rest goes to his buddies and the people that bought him, just like with American Rescue Plan. It's going to people he owes money to. Guess who else he owes money to? China. What's going to happen when they come to collect their debt? Who's going to have to pay for that? Yeah, exactly. So he's spending more money than in government than it has ever been spent in the history of man, ever. Who's going to have to pay for that? Not me, not you, your grandchildren. You're doing this to you. You're allowing him, we're not doing it, you're allowing him to do this to your grandchildren. That is so cruel. That's child abuse, and you should be ashamed. Insane. Now, what's going to happen? There's going to be this war between the Democrats and the Republicans, and not a fight. That's what's going on right now. There's a fight. There's going to be a war. What'll happen is the next election, probably the next presidential election, I'll make the statement now that in many cases there will be more votes than voters, because the Republicans are going to do what the Democrats did. And I'll leave it at that. If you want to take that as cheat, that's on you. I didn't say that. I said they're going to do what the Democrats did. Yeah. What's going to happen then? Another issue. He's done one press conference, and what a train wreck, what an absolute train wreck that press conference was. It was completely rehearsed. The Fox wasn't even allowed to ask questions. In this press conference, he embarrassed himself. He embarrassed America. He embarrassed the people that voted for him. But most importantly, he embarrassed America because he represents America. Now, a lot of people are saying he doesn't represent me. He represents America, like it or not. And so he did his press conference, and 3 months into his presidency, he did a press conference that was so canned, that was so phony. It was the cubic zirconia of press conferences. So let's say that's his standard. 1 every 3 months. That's 4 in a year. That's 16 press conferences in his entire presidency. You're not worried? That doesn't concern you? It should. Our president is going to publicly speak to the nation 16 times in 4 years. Now, don't worry, that's not going to happen. He's not going to be president for 4 years. We all know that. But the mere fact that the American people are okay with him speaking to the public and answering questions, being accountable, being transparent 4 times a year, and the entire conference is canned, that is, pre-written questions, pre-written answers, pieces of paper with the reporter's picture on it, with a number 1 and a circle next to their picture. This person gets the first question. Joe Blow. Joe Blow's going to ask you what's your favorite color. Your answer's going to be, my favorite color is. That was his press conference. And the American people swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker. You know who's going to pay for this? We are. So what's happened is the Marxist regime has infiltrated the Democratic Party, and the socialists have infiltrated the Democratic Party openly. I mean, you ask AOC what she is. She's a democratic socialist. She's part of the Democratic Socialist Party. Openly. So now they are running the Democratic Party. Now, something I have to mention here that's absolutely hilarious to me is how Hannity, especially Hannity, and some other media personalities that are conservative are saying openly that AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, the Habib Habib, the one who doesn't want police, what a fucking idiot. She says there should be no police. I'm not getting into that. Anyway, how he's driving that wedge, like every time he talks about them, he says they are running the Democratic Party, just driving that wedge between them and Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, the established Democratic Party. And he's just twisting that knife in there saying, yeah, Nancy, you're not doing anything. You're just a mouthpiece for this kid who is actually running the Democratic Party. Now, here's a fun fact about AOC is that she's got 12 billion zillion followers on Twitter, but she hasn't passed one single bit of legislation. Not one. Her legislation doesn't even get out of committee, doesn't even get to pre-committee. So her job is to legislate. She hasn't done that. I think she was elected in 2019. Zero. She hasn't done it at all. Now, she's very popular on social media, but she's not getting paid for social media, is she? She's getting paid to legislate, and she's not doing that. So that's hilarious. She's a complete failure as a politician. She's great as a showman, but as a politician, complete failure. And the fact that Hannity et al. Are driving this wedge between them two is absolutely hilarious. Let them eat each other to death. It's hilarious. Yes, Nancy, don't even look at AOC. AOC protest out in front of Nancy's office all day long. Because at the end of the day, you're just a doorstop in Congress because you're not doing anything but running that yapper, that soup cooler, as Dan Bongino calls it. So they're trying to socialize, Marxism, whatever, the Democratic Party, so that all of the Democratic Party are Marxist and socialist. Now, the ones that have, they're trying to do that to the American people, and they're taking these drastic steps, and they are pushing it as absolutely far as they can, which brings me to part B of my diatribe. Being pushed, bullying. The Democratic Party, the left, are bullying the American people to a point of snap. And this is very calculated and very purposeful. What they're going to do is they're going to push. Like they go from last week it was your guns. They're going after guns. They're going to change the guns. This week they've announced they're going to pack the courts. They're not shamed. They're throwing it out there. We're going to change before that. We're going to change all of the voting laws that we have lived with for the past 200 plus years. We're going to change all that. We're going to change the Second Amendment. We're going to change courts. We're going to change everything we can, and we're going to push you, and we're going to push you, and we're going to push you, and we're going to push you until you snap. And then when you snap, we're going to say, take them. Take all their guns, take all these people, put them in re-education camps, do everything. Look, we told you they're dangerous. Look what they did. Look what they did. I mean, they're going crazy. They rushed the Capitol. Why did they rush the Capitol? Why? Has anybody asked that? Yes, a lot of people have asked that, and they've come up with a bunch of racist answers. Had nothing to do with that. It was because they were disenfranchised. No one listened to them. The courts didn't listen to them. The politicians didn't listen to them. And the public square was taken from them. Parler was shut down. Twitter and Facebook all censored any dissent. And so they got pushed to their breaking point. And then when they broke, they blamed it on the reaction to what they caused. And that's what they're doing now. They're going to push the American people as hard and as far and as fast as they can to make them break. And then when they break, they're going to use that experience as evidence for control. More control, more control, more control. Simple. It's not going to work for them, but that's their plan. And I can just go back to, like I said, Mussolini and Muammar Gaddafi. They did the same thing. Complete 100% control. Controlled the narrative. Allowed for no dissent. See how that ended for them? That's how it's going to end for them, for currently. I don't know why they think it's any different, because mankind will not be silenced, especially when you're going against the foundation of this country. So I'm going to end this with this simple concept. Bullies never win, especially when the bully is in the minority. We are the silent majority. We are laissez-faire. We always have been. But don't mistake laissez-faire for weakness, because none of us are weak. We're just silent. I'll leave that with you. I've got another one I'm going to do on Biden's gun control fiasco that he did. I'm going to borrow some of Dan Bongino's breakdown of it. Let me just see if there's just the beginning of this video was that Washington, the politicians, and I'm talking Republicans too, lie without consequence. And it's gotten to the point where no one believes anything anymore. No one believes the media because they lie without consequence. Look at what Project Veritas did. Let me bring that up before we go anywhere. Look at what Project Veritas did with CNN. They exposed CNN. And here is day 4 for me since that broke, and CNN's still not saying anything. Now I will go ahead and bet you everything I have that CNN's going to say this guy does not represent us. They may even say he didn't even work for us. They're going to lie their ass off about this to try and back up. But everything they said, everything he said, it really wasn't news for us. It was just you're admitting to it. So look at what he said about propaganda, how he believes they're propaganda. Look at the Find the Fraud and how that ended up being complete, I'm going to say it, that ended up being complete bullshit. Find the Fraud never happened. Now we're finding out the bounty on American troops, complete bullshit, never happened. They're just making it up. And who's holding them accountable for it? No one. The courts certainly won't let you go after them. The courts have protected the media like nobody's business. It's amazing that Project Veritas won that case in the Supreme Court to get to, well, they didn't win a case. They just got to, now they're at discovery. They got past discovery. Everything's been shut down. It's about time someone said, hey, media, if you're going to report something as the news, then it needs to be accurate. And if it's not accurate, you need to issue a correction and explain why you had that inaccuracy. But, you know, we can't trust them. We can't trust them. I think perhaps one of the most awesome things that came out of the Project Veritas series with CNN, with the CNN director, is he admitted that they are fraudulent and that they are liars and all they're trying to do is sell and not inform. And he admitted that the true journalist, the most accurate places to find true journalism is on the internet and the independent news commentators like Drew Hernandez and Tim Pool, and of course, White House. Because we tell the truth. I don't make any money off of this. So I have no agenda other than the truth. We're at the point now where everything they say needs to be looked through, as Jen Psaki says, a prism prison. Huh, for anything. No, it needs to be looked. It needs to be viewed through a jar of dirt. In other words, you can't see through it because it's all bullshit. Said it again. I don't get paid for these, so you can demonetize me. I'm not even getting paid. Doesn't matter. I'm also gonna go off on. Just watch my next one. It'll be shorter than this, but thanks for watching.